Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be learning how to do this flame-inspired eye look with the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. Ooh. There's some really great colors in this palette. Unfortunately, the names are not on the interior of the palette. They are on the back. So I will try my best to keep you abreast of which colors we are using while we are doing the makeup. Hold on tight, because this one's going to get intense. Okay, y'all guys are going to have to forgive me of my hair today. It's crazy, and it's mainly just pulled back with clips the best that it can be. So I'm going to zoom in on my eyes so it won't be such a distraction, and that way you can actually see what I'm doing with my eyes today. First step first, prime the eyes. Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. Going to put that on my lid. Oop, try to get it not in my hair. And in my lashes. Man, I'm a mess today. Smooth on the eyeshadow primer. Try not to crease your eyelid while it's drying. Going to go ahead and apply to the other side while we wait for that one. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to apply to our eyes will be with the MAC 286 brush. And I'm going to use it in the shade, bear with me, these shades are not on the palette. The shade Silk Cream. It is the third from the left on the top row. I'm going to dip the brush in that and then wash it all over the crease line and the lid. Give myself a good base to work with. It's also going to help even out my eyelid color because my facial discolorations are just all over the place lately. Alright, now that we've got a good base to our eyelids, we're going to move on to some color. And this eye is going to be intense and kind of fiery, so hold on. Next we're going to be going into the shade Butter, and I believe that is the second from the left on the second row. I'm going to get it on a MAC 224 brush. Still want it to be fairly soft brush because we are just going in crease work. We're building up a good transition shade. Windshield wiper motions. We want to get it nice and in that crease. And you can see it's not a big deviation from the original color that we put down. We are going to just be building. This is your eyelids after Butter is applied. Next we are going to be going in with the Morphe M330 brush. We're going to be picking up the color Hunts. It is the orange type color in the second line. We're going to pick that up very lightly. It's got a lot of pigment to it, so we don't want to go in too heavy-handed. We just want to start with very soft motions right in this crease and down around the corner. And this orange is going to really help create a good fiery base for this eye color today, because we do want a very intense, fire, warm color. And the M330 is a very soft brush, so it is good for just really getting that color in the crease. And that will be a good shade to work the darker colors from there. Now don't worry, it looks a little alarming right now with it just being orange. It will get a lot better. There's your eyes after Hunts has been applied. I think a lot of people are afraid of doing oranges and yellows in eyes because they're afraid it's going to change their skin tone, but they can be really fun to play with if you just build them correctly. Next we're going to take a little bit of the color Roxanne, and it is in the third row right in the middle. I'm going to take some on an M441 brush. Tap off the excess. It is very pigmented again, and we're going to start building a little bit of a darker color right in this corner. This is a stiffer brush, so it's going to create a lot of blending, which is really what we want when we're trying to get darkness in this corner over here. We don't want something that's going to be too soft. The pigment will go everywhere, and there's not a lot of control for where you put it. So see how it's starting to darken up there? That's exactly what we want, and we're going to go even darker. We're going to go from like deep ember reddish brown to the fiery orange at top. Here we go, after Roxanne has been applied. We're going to go one shade to the right to that redder shade. I honestly don't know how to pronounce the name, but it's just the one right beside Roxanne that's not shimmery. We're gonna take a Morphe E18, get some of that dark color, and start right here. Oh yes, that's exactly what we wanted. That red base right there. And you want to be careful with it because it is very pigmented and very dark. See how easy it transfers? You just want to go with very soft strokes with a very short bristled brush and just build in that corner just like that. And we're going to go and blend that in so it all kind of meshes better. I'm going to go back in with the M441 that's got the Roxanne on it, and I'm going to blend right on the edge of the darker color. Blend that in better so that we're keeping the darkness, but we are losing the harsh lines. Harsh lines are enemy. We're also going to take the, the MAC 224 that we took in the beginning with the color Butter. We're going to gather just a little bit, and I see that this is getting a little harsh right here. So I'm going to bring this crease over just a little bit and help blend this back up. We want to keep the tallest point of the eyeshadow the lightest. You always kind of want to work on a gradient with eyeshadows. So you want to go from darkest to lightest here and darkest to lightest here. So this should always be your darkest point. This should always be your lightest point. This should always be your lightest point. You should never have dark colors. I mean, with exceptions, for most traditional looks, you want to be lighter here and here and darker in the corner. Okay, so that is a good base for the eyeshadow. This is what it looks like after pretty much all the pigments except for the shimmers have been put on. We haven't been able to do the under eyes yet because our foundation isn't done. We will do it as soon as we get that taken care of. We're going to be bringing it down in here, smoking it out, making it very dramatic. This is a very dramatic look for me. The next step is going to involve some of these really beautiful shimmers. So we're going to get my brush that I love so much for shimmers. You may have another one that you love for packing on color, but mine is the Cream Shadow Brush released by Unique. I spray some of my MAC Fix Plus. All shimmers are going to do better with a wet brush. So first, I'm going to take some of the color Firework. It is the second to last color on the second row, the orangey shimmer shade. And I'm just going to tap my brush in that color. I don't want a lot of it. I just want to create a little bit of a shimmer gradient here. So I'm going to very lightly touch my brush. I'm not packing too hard. I'm just very softly adding some shimmer. We'll go back in and buff out this harsh line here. Just one more dab into Firework. And the same thing on the other side. This isn't the main shimmer that we're going to use. I just wanted to create a little bit of a transition for the brighter shimmer. That way it's not just dark eye bright shimmer. So I actually got a towel and I'm wiping off that brush because I do want to use it for the other shimmers. Respray it with the Fix Spray. I'm going to go in with that gold shade right beside Firework. The name of that one is Queen. And it's a very molten gold color. We are going to go in right in this corner and we are going to dab and drag that color. Bring it up. This color is awesome. It's got great pigmentation. It doesn't lose anything in the application. And see how we've transitioned from gold to orange there? We'll buff that out so that it's not so harsh and it will just be a nice flow into that dark. This is the eye look right after Queen. We are going to go in now and buff out those lines to make them just a little softer. So we're going to take the Morphe M441 brush that we had hunts on. We're going to just barely dab into hunts and we're going to go all over the crease, right around that shimmer color. Just tie it all back together. We want to soften this line here. I don't see that this is blending quite right, so I'm going to go back in with my same shimmer brush and I'm just going to drag that gold back a little bit further back. See how we're doing? That way we're blending the shimmer a little bit further in. There we go. And then back in with Hunt's. We're blending up. There we go. All right, so one of the last things that I want to do on this color before I stop and do my foundation so that we can do the under eyes is I want to brighten it up with a really pretty yellow color on the very top just to make it very fiery. Just the last little bit of color right here on the edges. Blended very well because this could very easily look last minute if it's not just blended out. See how it brightens up the very edge of all that color. And I'm sorry, I did not mention what color that is. It is the color Creamsicle. There you have it. All right, I'm going to take a break with my foundation real quick and I will be right back. We are back. Eyebrows, check. Foundation, check. We are good to go. So we're going to get back into our palette. I'm going to be using a pencil brush, the M321, and I'm going to be working underneath the eyes for now. I'm going to be bringing all of this over so that I make a nice, good smoke ring with it all. So we're going to be starting off with the shade Butter. That is the second from the left in the second row. Getting some on our pencil brush and just going in underneath. One of the main things that you want to always keep in mind when you are bringing colors underneath your eye is you want to marry them into your top colors very evenly. So whatever order you laid down color on your top, you want to lay down the same color on your bottom. Otherwise they won't blend the same, they won't look the same. In the same pencil brush, I am now going to dip into the Hunt's color, that orange color, a little bit more to the right on the second row. And with the same brush, the M321, we're going to go in with the shade Roxanne. Same thing, just bringing it underneath the eye. And see how we are joining it all together and how it's starting to look like the same color. And then the last color that we are going to take under our eyes is that very dark red right beside Roxanne. Just the tiniest little bit. Too much of this will ruin the effect. Just the littlest bit on the same brush right here, right on the corner. You want to take it too far in, just right there, bringing it down just a tad. Sorry if y'all can't see. Right there. Okay. So that is what it looks like after that part is done. I am going to go in with that same golden shimmer brush, that unique flat bristle brush, and I'm going to get just a little bit more of the shade Queen, not too much at all, and I'm going to bring it a little bit closer down here, closer to my inner eye. If you can see that, just brightening it up a little bit more. Okay, and then with whatever is left on your brush, you're going to start from the end and join it all the way across. Now if it gets under your eye a little bit too much, we can clean that up with a beauty blender here in a second. I am going to go in with my beauty blender just right in here, just to clean up right around it. That is the wonderful thing about beauty blenders, is they very versatile. You can use it to apply your foundation, your concealer, powder, or you can use them to clean up under your eyes. I grab mine all the time for a number of different things. Now, to add a wing liner or not, I think that I'm going to try, and that's absolutely terrifying, so we will see what happens. So I will be honest, I have used liquid liner to make a wing about twice in my life now. I've been practicing, but we'll see how this goes. I may be about to ruin everything, but we will try not to. I'm going to try to get a good focus on it. So I do use the NYX Epic Ink liner. It is a very thin tipped felt liner, which in my practice seems to be the best thing. So I'm going to start at the edge of my eye. And one thing about winged liner that you really want to focus on is you are not creating a false corner of your eye. You want to almost continue the line that your lower lash line makes up. So I'm going to do that. Okay. And I'm going to start here on the middle of my eyelid and bring it up. Just tight lining to the inside of my eye. So first I'm going to go all the way over, and then I'm going to start about halfway through on that one. Oh, it's going to be dramatic. We'll see what it looks like in the end. It is a little dramatic, but this is a dramatic look, so I think we're going to be able to pull it off overall. I'm just going to finish tight lining. Very small strokes. Okay, and I'm going to do the other eye. Here's hoping that they match. All right, so I do think that for the most part, we did get the wings straight. And I think they look okay. I think they'll look better once I zoom out for my eyes a little bit and you can see the full thing. Now I'm going to apply my mascara. I am using Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. It is one of my favorites. I use it in pretty much all of my videos. This is the final look for the eyes after everything is done. Mascara, and I did add some black eyeliner to the inside of my waterline. Here you go. I'm going to zoom out and finish the rest of my face so that you can see the final product. So this is the finished look. I think the colors all worked really nicely together. I think the eyes look great. They turned out even better than I had imagined in my head, so I'm very pleased with it. I hope that you enjoyed going through this tutorial with me. If you have any questions about anything that I did or didn't do or the products that I use, go ahead and leave me a comment down below and I'll be happy to answer it for you. If you like this video, go ahead and leave a thumbs up down below. Subscribe to my channel while you're at it, and whenever you're asked, hit the little bell. That way you get notifications every time that I upload new videos.